When Michael Jackson was arrested in 2003, authorities searched the private amusement park that MJ called home, looking for clues that would confirm the allegations brought against the singer. They didn't find those kind of clues since MJ was later acquitted, but they did find a host of strange things that were the missing links to Michael's personality. Stay tuned until the end to see why MJ was so obsessed with children. If you want more content just like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to The Richest. Now here are 10 things Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch revealed about him. He liked kids. While this is the least surprising fact about Michael Jackson, the content of Neverland Ranch showed that his kid love was on another level. The ranch wasn't just designed for children, but children were included in the design, from the gates to the pavement to the statues, which were of shirtless kids, to the door knockers, which were sculpted to look like two children kissing. A logo of a child in pajamas sitting on the moon was painted all over the property, and sculptures of child fairies were scattered throughout the grounds. While there is a sound explanation as to why Michael loved children so much, we're going to come back to it later. He liked Macaulay Culkin. Michael Jackson and Macaulay Culkin had a long and weird relationship that started when Macaulay was just 8 years old. Michael met Macaulay backstage at a play. This meeting bloomed into a friendship that saw Macaulay sleeping over at Michael's ranch often, and culminated in Macaulay being named a godfather to Michael's daughter, Paris Jackson. When Michael's Neverland Ranch was raided, a signed and framed headshot of Home Alone-era Macaulay Culkin was found in a secret closet. The message Macaulay inscribed, "Don't leave me alone in this house," what was clearly a movie reference became creepily prophetic when the allegations came to light. However, Macaulay has said time and time again that he had never felt uncomfortable in Michael's presence. They were just two best friends who liked to hang out and act like kids together. He loved animals. The Neverland Ranch contained Michael Jackson's own private zoo. Along with domestic animals like dogs, alpacas, and a herd of cows, the zoo also held an elephant, giraffes, tigers, and even orangutans. The ranch was also the home of Bubbles, Michael's long-standing chimpanzee companion. When the ranch closed, many of the animals were sent to sanctuaries across America. However, not all of them could be tracked down by PETA years later, and some of the animals' whereabouts remain unknown. As for Bubbles, he's reportedly now leading a much quieter life in a Florida retirement sanctuary. Or maybe he didn't. Michael Jackson was a complicated figure, and his video collection reflected this fact. Though known as a platonic lover of children and animals, a collection of tapes removed from Neverland Ranch showed a different side of the pop star. Along with graphic images of adults and children, police uncovered videos of animals being abused. Unfortunately, these were meant to be viewed with pleasure. Jackson's estate denied the content of the tapes, the existence of which was contained in police reports leaked by Radar Online. Michael's nephew Taj Jackson even tweeted out that there was absolutely no truth to this storyline. He loved toys. Neverland Ranch was full of toys, children's toys. He even had his own Zoltar machine. Michael owned a wall of arcade games, a collection of go-karts, action figures, stuffed animals, and everything else that a little kid would own. There were several rooms dedicated just to toys. Of course, Neverland Ranch contained toys of the amusement park variety too, including a Ferris wheel, roller coaster, bumper cars, a carousel, and 2 electric passenger trains that ran the full circumference of the property. He loved movie memorabilia. Along with toys, MJ owned lots of movie merchandise. Neverland Ranch contained life-size statues of Superman, E.T., Darth Vader, and many other Star Wars characters. Michael even had his own Batsuit, which was an exact replica from the 1989 movie. He also owned real film props, including Edward Scissorhands' scissor hands, which were placed under museum glass. Most appropriately, Neverland Ranch was filled with merchandise from the Disney movie Peter Pan. He loved mannequins. One of the creepiest parts of Neverland Ranch was that human-sized mannequins were scattered all over Michael's house. That they were dolls wasn't the problem. Dolls would not be a surprising find in a collector's paradise like Neverland Ranch. It's the fact that these mannequins were of children that made it so creepy. Also, they were placed in strange places and positioned in weird ways. They were also dressed up, we presume by Michael himself. 3 mannequins were even found sitting around a desk as if they were talking to each other. He loved Shirley Temple. MJ clearly loved child stars, and even the old ones didn't escape his admiration. The Raid of Neverland revealed that Michael had a room dedicated to 1930s child star Shirley Temple. One of his guest rooms served as a Shirley Temple shrine. The walls were covered with posters and publicity photos of her. There were cardboard cutouts of the pine-sized actress, and there was also a life-size Shirley Temple mannequin that was impeccably dressed in a pink dress and pink hair bow. He liked himself. The only thing Michael Jackson liked more than children seemed to be himself. This is the most understandable of MJ's predilections. Being one of the most famous people on the planet, how could you not admire yourself? At Neverland Ranch, Jackson had statues of himself, masks of himself, figurines of himself, and a robot of himself. He even had paintings of himself in various scenes, including a mock-up of the Last Supper with MJ in place of Jesus, and the disciples replaced by some of Jackson's favorite historical figures. He lost his childhood. It's clear from what was discovered at Neverland Ranch that something essential was missing from MJ's life, and that something was a childhood. Because of an abusive upbringing and one that was spent in the spotlight, Michael never got to have a normal and carefree childhood. Thus, when he became a pop icon who could have anything he wanted, the only thing he desired was to become a kid again. So Michael manufactured a belated childhood, with Neverland being the centerpiece. Unfortunately, this overcompensation of childish idealism encompassed some problematic behavior, but the reason for this is now very clear and very tragic. That's all for 10 things Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch revealed about him. So what do you think about the King of Pop today? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.